One thing I've noticed about you is every once in a while you'll drop a name. You'll drop a Hollywood icon that I have no idea you have a connection with. You're like, yeah, I was just, Pope Francis just thought I had tea with him 2 days before. Like, you know, geez, how do you know the Pope? Well. So I want to play a game, if you're okay with this. I jotted down some names, and I swear you have a connection to everybody.
Okay,
so
I'm a little nervous about this, but
I'm sure you are, but like, maybe you don't even know.
Yeah.
But like everybody in Hollywood is connected to you. Like John Mulaney did the Everybody's Live. It should be Everybody's with Mark, because everybody knows you.
You know, John Mulaney claimed that I was his father. Did you know that story?
He wasn't even on my list.
No, but it's true. In school, he used to tell kids that I was his father.
Why did he tell kids you were his father?
Because he said Double Dare was big, and he wanted to, you know, impress the kids. I just went to a show a couple of weeks ago because he wasn't returning my phone calls because I wanted him on my podcast, and I said, I'm your father. You don't return the phone calls? What the heck, you know? Nice guy.
See, we haven't even started the game yet. You already have a story.
I know. I'm sorry.
I'm going to start with basically the king of all media these days, Ryan Seacrest. Do you have a story with Ryan Seacrest?
Ryan Seacrest was working for me. I was exec producing a show called, what was it called? I don't remember. I'm at that point in my life.
It wasn't American Idol, was it?
No, it wasn't.
Okay.
No, but here's what happened. He was working for me. It was called Ultimate Revenge. Okay. And I had hired him. We were on TNN, I believe. And he calls me one night and calls me Marco. Hey, Marco, I just got a phone call. This show called Pop Idol is coming to the United States, and they want me to host it. I said, well, that's nice. Congratulations. He said, yeah, they want me to start in 2 weeks. And I said, well, you're under contract with me and TNN. That ain't going to happen. And he said, well, figure it out. And I won't tell the whole story, but I was able to figure it out where Ryan got to go do Idol and come back and finish our stuff. And I was glad to be able to help him because I don't know what's ever happened to him, but at the time, he was good at that, you know?
Have you been to see him at Wheel of Fortune?
I just went a couple of weeks ago, as a matter of fact. Yeah.
One of my favorite Broadway stars who's crossed over to the small screen and kind of bounced back and forth, Neil Patrick Harris. Do you know Neil?
I know Neil very well.
Of course you do.
I started off as a magician, and Neil was a magician, and so that was our bond. And for a while, we tried to syndicate a show and do some stuff at CBS. It didn't happen. He did something very nice for me at one point. When Barker was leaving Price is Right, and they were looking for hosts, and I couldn't get an interview, I couldn't get an audition. He called the president of CBS and said, what Barker is to this particular generation, Marc Summers is to our generation, and if you make him the host of Price is Right, everybody will watch him. And he said, I'm sorry, but I just hired somebody else. And that's how I found out how the new host got hired. They told him and he told me, but I mean, he was nice enough to make that call.
And I'll go one more, pop music, one of the bigger stars of today, Bruno Mars. Do you know Bruno Mars?
I was backstage in Philadelphia, and we had the same agent at the time, and they said, would you like to meet Bruno? And I said, I'd love to meet Bruno Mars, but he won't have a clue who I am. And he sees me and runs across the stage and hugs me. And I said, you know who I am? And he said, you raised me. And I thought, oh my God.
Is he John Mulaney's brother?
Maybe. I have family everywhere, you know? But